It's hot. It's hot. I guess it's summer. It is June in Georgia, so it is hot. Um, just jump. I guess jump right into it. Thinking this morning. Kind of twofold. What makes gets you interested? Makes you play a game, and with that, what gets you into the shop to play that game? Um, we're discussing a little bit on campaigns yesterday. Um, and then I was thinking about tournaments too. Other than coming in with your friends and stuff, but to play like a one-off game. What gets people to come in the store on a regular basis? Uh, just off the top of head, it was campaigns and tournaments. Tournaments. Overall, we do pretty well. We don't try not to do one every weekend, but we do try to have a couple a month. The issue we have is right now, especially this summer, Saturday's our busiest day. And then if we use 10 of our tables or so for tournaments, that doesn't leave a lot of room for everybody else. So I really honestly would love to get tournaments more on a Sunday. I know people are busy and everything else on Sundays, um, but I don't know. But I've seen it got to the whole tournaments and tying up tables and how often do you do it and that stuff. So the next thing was campaigns. I think there's two currently going on. 40K which just started, then the BattleTech one. Um, Kind of my take, or once again talking with Zeph for just a minute on campaigns, is that I think you either need to have a very simple campaign with a more complicated game or a game that takes longer to play. And then you can have a more complicated campaign with a game that takes a short amount of time. Kind of what brought that up was we played Warcry. Played a couple times in the past, but me and Zeph did a quick kind of refresher. Really enjoy it. It's a very quick game. Um, Small. You could easily play within an hour. With that, you could easily get a couple games in a day. And it kind of once again goes back to that Blood Bowl 7, playing a game in an hour. I even push to say games that take an hour and a half or less. I think those are good for campaigns because then you can spend time in the campaign after you play or before you play or whatever, and it extends that. You start playing a 3 4 hour this 40K game, and then you got to do campaign stuff. And how many times a week can you do that? Some people can do several nights. A lot of people, once a week's even pushing it. So once again, with the campaign, the game takes 3 4 hours. Oh yeah, um, it can be a challenge, especially if it's a complicated campaign where people have to get together, or once again, you're trying to get a couple games in a week. That can be a challenge. I think once again, if you're running a campaign like that where you're not playing as often. I know we had here a while back a very successful conquest campaign, and I think they were playing twice a month. They were getting together on the weekends. That seemed to be very successful. But I go back to the skirmish games. I know there's even a few um, that they're almost set up to do a 1 day campaign. I think it was Relic Blade was one of those. There's a couple others out there. Once again, where games are taking definitely less than an hour. And you sit there and plow through a campaign. Um, I know in the past we've had Necromunda, uh, pretty successful once again. Overall, I don't say simple game, but definitely quick playing game. And if you have to, you get even 2 games in a day. Um, so yeah, I think a good combination of those, and it does get people into play a reason why to come in. Um, and I guess a third thing, just thinking about it, is having scheduled, and I say I'm terrible about it. We need to do better. Is Monday night is whatever. Monday night's 40K. Wednesday night's historical. Thursday night's board games. Um, Problem is, right now during the summer, everybody's schedule is all over the place. People take trips. It's not doesn't seem to be as structured. So I think that's a little harder. That just means we got to put more effort. So I definitely I'll talk to Mike tomorrow. We need to do a better job. I know Mike tries. I said I'm probably the weak link there on scheduling stuff and get it posted. But and it goes back to no one shows up. Well, you can't say well we're done. I think you need to run something. If you're doing it weekly or even every other week, at least 6 weeks, and that goes back to you need say two, at least probably 4 very dedicated folks to run to play, and that can even go back to the campaign stuff. Running a smaller campaign with 4 people, doing it up here to say Tuesday night we're going to do X campaign, and I go back to Warcry. Just throw that out there, and we continue to play. It's going to be nice if you could have a campaign that you can incorporate new people, or they see you playing every Tuesday. And this is where I think the BattleTech guys do well, and they do it on Tuesday, is they have a new player. Well, and it's usually Bob, but one of them will play a game with that new player. Even on their nights, they're scheduled to have other stuff. They have got a couple of new players doing that, and then incorporate them into their campaign. I think that's good. So yeah, I think there's that good balance of doing that, and of course it goes back to this the players you have. Either, and I'll include that in a tournament. That right now Travis has really got the 40K guys going and have a really strong core group that we're selling out that tournament every time he hosts it, which that's good. It's a good group of people, good competition. Um, it makes people want to come back, which is outstanding. So, yeah, once again, that was just some random thoughts of getting how to get people into the store, and because June, honestly, June is one of our slowest months historically, and it is because school's out, people doing all the crazy stuff, myself included. But I think that's something we could work on, and not just June, but all the time. Um, so, and with that, it goes back. I think I mentioned it before too. That one of the challenges we have there is not just me and Mike, but kind of the core folks here. Um, it'd be not be nice. How do you kind of searching for my words here? Um, it gets once again that group. It's 4 to 8 people. We'll say that's a good core group for any game. 2 up here playing on a regular basis, and getting it going, and that's where once again I was thinking this morning of how do I support the folks that do that. Especially with a campaign where they are, it's a longer period of time. Um, so got some thoughts. I definitely want to sit down with Mike tomorrow and think about that. If you guys out there have any thoughts, want to be the called the alpha gamer in a game and get it going, man, we're wide open. I'll always jump on the opportunity. Someone say, "Hey, I want to run a game." Um, Prime example, Stephen Hicks. He loves his skirmish games. I like a lot of games he plays. We've been trying for 3 weeks now to play prosciutto. We're gonna play tonight. Um, and you know, I love Stephen because he just does it. He doesn't care if one person shows up or 20 people. He's gonna play the game, and I think you have to have that mentality. That's one of those games I'd love to see grow here. Um, but and we've talked about it a million times. It's the whole, I don't say fighting the 40K. It's more. It's not even competition. It goes back. People only have so much time, so much money, so much effort. Um, and what are they going to invest in game? Most people's already invested in 40 Games Workshop game. Because whether they came from somewhere else, their background or whatever, that's kind of the standard. Getting people into that second or third game is a challenge, and I fully understand because I challenge myself all the time with that because there's all these other cool games I want to play, but and it's not that I don't have time. It goes back to priorities, and what I do with the time, what games I play, and when I play. Um, so yeah, that was just some thoughts I had this morning. Is you know tie it back to my first question: what gets you to play a game? Um, that's a loaded question. Is it the minis? Is it the rules? Is your friends playing? I think it's all those. I think you can make a pretty long list about that. But then, the follow up, what gets you to actually play the game? And I'll even throw it there, how many games do you play at home with someone and why? Um, so, once again, those are, I think, some of the $1 million questions. There's not one right or wrong answer. I think it's kind of an all of the above type answer with pieces and parts. Um, so I think that's a challenge for any um, game store. In fact, any hobby store. How do you keep that up? Um, while I not Games Workshop, and yeah, I still don't understand some of their practices. I will poke at them this once here. Is I still tracking orders and knowing what was ordered, when it was ordered, when it's going to ship, what's going to ship. It's horrible. I've mentioned 1,000 times. I got little mom and pop operations distributors that better, easier, faster communication. Um, I feel like I have a good rep at Games Workshop right now. I feel for those who don't have a good rep, be pulling your hair out. But anyway, um, but Games Workshop on the good that they they thrive on that of the getting people to play new stuff, new games, and all that stuff. So um, I think they definitely know what they're doing there. So that's where I think um, how do you use that what Games Workshop does a little bit um, to get stuff other games going and stuff like that. Once again, talk about it for till I'm blue in the face 100 days, and everybody has their own opinion, which once again I like to hear because you know um, my opinion is my opinion, and it's about all this stuff, and it's, what's that worth? I don't know, not much. Um, Sometimes, so, but yeah, I'd love to hear feedback. If you guys want to run some games, what you stuff would you like to see? Tournaments, campaigns, um, a night scheduled for events, and I go back to, I just said it. I think it's a little of all the above and getting that good mix on that. So yeah, good thoughts. I thought maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely would love to hear what you guys think. And I guess with that, I'm gonna wrap up. And yeah, did I mention it was hot? You guys stay cool out there, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.